Today's video is about pull-apart bread. Welcome back to Great Little Homestead. I would like to show you how I make pull-apart bread with my own special ingredients. We're gonna need some cooked ham. In my case, I am going to use my homemade cooked ham. Also, I use a mix of Gouda and mozzarella cheese. Herb and garlic butter, this one is homemade as well. Fresh yeast, but you can use dry yeast. Salt, olive oil, sugar, and of course some flour and water. All the exact measurements you can find in the description area below the video. The first thing I am going to do is dissolve my yeast in the water. You want to have for this recipe room temperature water. So just mix it up until it is dissolved. And in the meantime, I'm gonna add already the salt, and sugar, and the olive oil to the flour. When you use dry yeast, make sure you let it sit for about 10 or 15 minutes until it starts foaming, so you know it is active. So that should be good enough. So I quickly add this to my mixture here as well. Here we go. That's pretty much it already. I'm gonna take this and bring it to my KitchenAid so she can mix it for me. You wanna mix it for about 7 to 10 minutes until you have a super smooth and soft dough. Of course you can do it by hand as well and knead your dough. That is not a problem. You just wanna make sure that it gets a really firm texture. On the softer side, but you don't want it sticky at all. This one needs to rest right now. So for, I would say, 45 minutes to an hour. It depends on how warm your kitchen is. So what you are looking for is that it doubles in size for sure. I'm gonna cover this one now and give it the rest, and then I will be back and show you what the next step is. The dough has rested for approximately 45 minutes now, and it looks already really good, as you can see. So now next thing is getting some flour on your workspace. Don't be shy with it, because we need to move the dough after we had rolled it. So rather use a little bit more flour than too less. Here we go. So the important thing is that you have enough flour. You really need to move it a little bit around, and you want to roll it out into a square. And the funny part with any yeast dough is it doesn't like to stay in the shape we put it. It has its own mind. So let's see how well we can get this done. As square as possible. And every once in a while lift it and make sure that it doesn't stick to the surface like here. If it does, lift it up, put some flour underneath, and put it back into shape. Because you're gonna see in a moment why we want this not to stick. So that looks pretty good. And try to get it the same thickness all over as much as possible. So now I'm gonna cut it into 6 equal pieces, approximately equal pieces. And make sure that when you cut it, that you don't cut it too wide or too slim, so it will fit into your pan. I am using this pan. It is wonderful for that. And yeah, I don't know what kind of pan you have, of course, so you have to make it fit. First thing we're gonna do is herb and garlic butter, or garlic butter, or anything you like. This recipe is just the base. You can really exchange the ingredients as you go. So what I do is I add some garlic butter to the first drop here. And then I use some of my cooked ham and add this to it. If you don't have cooked ham, or you prefer something else, or you don't eat any meat or so at all, you can use whatever you like mushrooms or bell peppers, or there's your imagination, whatever you like. The sky is the limit. So, and then some of our cheese. Don't be shy with the cheese. I always think the more the better, because I love cheese. So, and then I take this one and just put it on top of this. Try not to stretch it too much in the lengths. And then just pull it so it covers the bottom layer. Just like that. And then you repeat. Some cooked ham. And cheese again. And the next layer on top. And same thing, try not to stretch it too much. And try to cover the bottom layer. And of course it likes to fall out of there, certainly. So, and then you do this with the other 3 leftovers as well, so you have 2 of those layers. Some more cooked ham. And honestly, the amount of ham and cheese and herb and garlic butter you use, it really is up to you and how much you like on it. Some prefer not too much, we prefer a lot. You just do as you like it. So, and certainly it's not always easy to keep it in place, of course not, because it all has its own will. Here we go. Okay, so now that we have done this, we're gonna cut it in pieces again. And again, try to match the size of your pan. go. So now we have to get this in our pan. Just take one piece and lay it in there and add one on top of each other, just like that. I always like to keep the pan on an angle, makes it so much easier. Here we go. And the last piece, don't forget to put the bottom in to the outside. So here we go. Let me remove a little bit here. This is how it looks like now. All it has to do now is to rise a little bit and rest a little bit again, so the bread comes up about a little bit above the top of the pan, and then we can bake it. So that is good enough with cheese, I would say. I have preheated my oven already to 185 degrees Celsius. It's a convection oven. If you don't have convection, you wanna preheat it to 200 degrees Celsius. So our bread was 30 minutes in the oven at 185 degrees Celsius now. And let's see what we have. Oh, that looks so good. Look at that. Huh? Too bad it is too hot to eat right away. But, well, I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit so it is easier to get it out of my pan. And then I show you what we actually have baked. The bread is still nice warm, but I already got the pan apart, and let's have a look how it looks like on the inside. Well, it's a pull apart. Let's pull it apart. Look at that. Ooh, and that smell, it is delicious. So good. That's about it. Super easy to make. Doesn't take a lot of time. Yes, a little bit waiting time, but that's it. Please let me know how you like it when you made this recipe down in the comment section. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and please subscribe. Thank you for watching.